Hi Virgo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-November 2025 love reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, of course, what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is to look at the past, present, future energies between you and the main love interest. Then we'll pull oracle cards to help with the bridge and the gap dynamic. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as the energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's a way around your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Ten of Cups. So this is Pisces energy here, which is your relationship house. So definitely looks like this is saying in the past you felt almost unbridled optimism as far as what type of connection you were entering into with this person. You just might have been viewing it through a really romanticized lens in the past. All right, past energy on their side, we have the Five of Swords. So this could just be saying that maybe they said or did something that caused conflict between the two of you. Now, usually with the Five of Swords in a lot of decks, it looks like the person's happy with the end result, right? They're perfectly fine with the fact that they alienated people. But the artwork here does look like the person has regrets, right? Looks like they're holding flowers and throwing some into the water. So it could just be one of those things where maybe it wasn't ill-intentioned, but, it might have just came out the wrong way, whatever they might have said, and then they didn't necessarily know how to go about fixing it. So there could have been some regret from them, but I have the feeling if there was, they just didn't express that regret to you. In the present position on your side, we have Seven of Arrows, so this is actually Aquarius energy here as well. And if you look at this, the way we see the Five of Swords there in the past, here we see she's holding on to 5 arrows, which are the equivalent of swords in this deck for what it's worth. So, could just be saying that, that might still be something that you're holding on to, right? If we look at the facial expression of the person there, they definitely don't look happy, right? So if you think of Seven of Swords in a lot of decks too, it's another energy where it looks like the person's happy to be getting away with what they're getting away with. Whereas here we see a much different energy, right? So I feel like this is saying you might still be showing up in the connection, right, physically, but I feel like deep down you're still holding on to whatever this thing was in the past, and you're not really able to move past it just yet. But at the same time, I feel like you're not necessarily communicating that it's still bothering you either. Present energy on their side, we have the Three of Cups. So again, with themes departing from the traditional artwork quite a bit, right? If we look at the Three of Cups in this deck in particular, has a bit of a darker undertone to it, right? Looks like this person could be going into a bar, possibly even a brothel, right? And then if we look at just the way they're looking over their shoulder, what they're wearing, right? It seems to have a bit of a shady energy to it. So, I feel like this is, again, I feel like it's like the elephant in the room. Whatever the situation was in the past, right? They seem to regret it, but didn't necessarily express that to you. You seem to still be holding on to it, but didn't necessarily express it to them, right? But I feel like they just feel that energy is still lingering. So, they might just be engaging in bad habits rather than addressing it head on. Future energy on your side, we have the Prince of Staves. So this is Sagittarius energy here. And, given that we're soon going to enter into Sagittarius season and this is coming up in a future position, could just be pointing to the energy you might be embodying when we move into Sagittarius season. And if that's the case, could just be saying that, you might ultimately be considering just leaving the connection behind. So something to think about there. All right, and future energy on their side, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is Pisces energy here, and this could also point to traditionally someone moving away from an energy that they feel like was lacking emotional depth. I don't necessarily get that energy with this deck in particular, but again, I feel like this is just maybe indicative of them again trying to sweep the issue under the rug. Excuse me. So That's what I feel like the primary issue is here, is that something took place in the past between the two of you. Mind you, things seem to be going great before that, and it looks like neither party is addressing it for whatever reason. So it's just lingering, and obviously that's causing this connection to break apart. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have Transformation. So this is actually the equivalent of the Death card in traditional tarot, Scorpio energy. And if we look at the names here, we have Pluto and Persephone, right? So this could just be saying that maybe this is just something you guys go through, right? Where this might be one of those on again, off again types of connections. So, I mean, teach their own, I suppose. But at the very least, this could just be saying that even if you do leave the connection behind, there is the potential that eventually it will come back around again. But that's what I see with that. And the bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Eight of Pentacles. So this is actually a Virgo energy here. So yeah, I feel like this is saying that ultimately they'd like to just get the energy and the connection back to a more light and playful tone. But again, like I said, it doesn't seem like they're really taking a proactive approach to do it either. So definitely some interesting energies here, but we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. First, we'll see what we get from the Messages of Love Oracle card deck. I'm just going to give this a few shuffles. Alright, and we'll take this card here. And next I'll do the same thing with the Wisdom Oracle deck, so I'm just going to give this a few shuffles now. Alright, and we'll take this card here. Get this out of the way, and we'll take a look at that Messages of Love card first. Okay, we have warning, don't dismiss the red flags here. So yeah, I mean, quite frankly, it looks like there's a whole lot of dismissing going on here. Right? Like I said, it seems like something that they did in the past seemed to have been an issue, seemed like they had awareness that it was an issue, but didn't necessarily address it head on. Again, like I said, in the present, it seems like it's still lingering with you as well, but you're not really addressing it head on. So yeah, maybe that's the red flag, right? The red flag is that for whatever reason, the two of you can't communicate with each other clearly about, hey, this is what happened, this is, how it made me feel, so on and so forth, right? But yeah, obviously, a connection with failed communication could be a big issue, but ironically, a lot more of those connections out there than you would think, right? And from the Wisdom Oracle, we have Yang. There's the artwork, and the number is 1. Let's see what this has to say. All right, the relationship message says circumstances are supporting action on your part. It's okay to make the first move. Trust that you will quickly know where you stand. In matters of the heart, there's movement toward your highest good, so go forth with assurance. Passion is in the air, and now is the time to dance to the tune of love. Take the lead. Interesting message there, right? Sounds to be completely different from the energy we have here. But at the very least, I would say in the overall context of this reading, it could just be saying that, look, one way or another, it looks like this situation from the past needs to be addressed. It just might be on you to do so first. And you never know, right? Maybe things could get resolved from there, things would be fine. Or if not, you'll at least be more sure of yourself to say, yeah, you know what? Moving away from this connection would be for the best. So, definitely an interesting reading there for sure. But if that is your situation, hopefully that resonated. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.